Even with the new TV app debut this spring, Apple is still pushing out an update this fall. What is it? Why is it? Let's talk. But first, I'm Rene Ritchie, and this is Vector. Yes, even in the age of the TV app on Samsung smart TVs and Roku streaming boxes, Apple is still making the Apple TV and updating tvOS. This year, taking it to 13. We'll get to why in a minute, but first, here's what. Starting with the new home screen. Apple has made it dynamic now, so whatever app is highlighted can just start playing video and showing off content to you right away. It's meant to be more immersive and to draw you in faster to new and interesting shows, games, experiences. I don't know. Netflix has been doing this for a while, and I find it incredibly annoying because it means I can't stop browsing for even a second to do anything else, anything that requires even a modicum of concentration without being bombarded by a noisy trailer. But it's the noisy part that really gets me. I don't honestly care what's playing on screen because I'm either looking at it and interested or not looking at it and oblivious. It's the sound that makes it so super annoying, especially when you have no control over whether it blares out at you or not. So here's hoping Apple will give us that control. That way, whether it's a hot new show in TV or a hot new game in arcade, come this fall, I'll be smiling and not just gritting my teeth. Apple loves to troll us with tvOS. A couple of years ago, they announced dark mode for Apple TV. Now they've announced MultiUser for, you guessed it, Apple TV. It's designed, like the similar but voice-based feature coming to HomePod, to make sure the content your family loves doesn't pollute the up next, recommended, and the other highly personalized lists of the content you love. If you're into Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you don't have to see their Outlander. If you're into Public Enemy, you don't have to worry about their Bluegrass. Not songs, not playlists, and with the new in-time lyrics, your in-time lyrics, not theirs. You get the idea. Your idea, your Rex, not theirs. And there's a spiffy new control center which will be immediately familiar to anyone who's ever used an iPhone or iPad, there to make account switching fast and easy. Apple TV is going to be supporting Xbox One S and, wait for the crowd reaction,
PlayStation DualShock 4!
This also applies to Apple's other platforms like iOS and iPadOS, but it's a big deal for Apple TV. First, because big screen gaming just feels better with big league controllers, and that'll certainly be true with Apple's upcoming arcade service as well, but also because there'll be first-class controllers on Apple TV, with support for single tap to bring up Control Center, double tap to bring up the app switcher, and press and hold briefly for the home screen. Since Apple TV 4, now called Apple TV HD, one of the big new features every year has been the big new screensavers. Yeah, they're just screensavers, but anyone who's ever looked at them knows the enormous amount of time and effort Apple puts into them each year. For the first few years, it was with helicopters and drones going through cities and mountains and, eventually, remote and magnificent locations at every corner of the world. Last year, it was in partnership with the International Space Station and views of the Earth from outer space. This year, they're diving underwater to show the flora and fauna found beneath the seas and oceans, all shot by BBC's Natural History Unit. And all of this in an attempt to answer the questions that started coming up following the announcement of the new TV app and its availability on smart TVs and streaming boxes. And that is, what place does that leave for Apple TV 4K, which could now come off as expensive at best and superfluous at worst? And Apple, with Tim Cook doing the presentation, started to make that case at WWDC. It's about the experience, damn it, and that experience is driven by tvOS, the picture, the sound, and all of the apps above and beyond TV. It's not quite a compelling case, at least not yet, not until Apple does more only Apple things like arcade, including things like maybe bringing maps to the TV, and video-centric versions of News and News Plus, and handoff for video the way HomePod is getting handoff for audio, and maybe even makes a dongle that gives that kind of experience at a lower cost of entry or in a much more portable, travel-friendly way. But with all of the attention coming to TV Plus and all of the other pieces falling into place, I think a lot of that is more about when now than if, and we could still be in for a very interesting year to say the least. Now, there's one thing that's even better than hearing about all of this, and that's learning how to do it yourself. Every day, Brilliant publishes daily challenges that provide a quick and fascinating view into math, logic, science, engineering, computer science, everything you need. If you like the concept and want to learn more, there's a full interactive course related to each daily challenge. You can go in depth to solve fun logic puzzles and challenges, experiment, and learn. You can even learn on the go, whether you're on a flight or traveling with spotty internet connections. You can now take courses offline with Brilliant's iOS and Android apps. So you're not just spending time, you're investing it. To support Vector and get unlimited access to Brilliant's courses and daily challenges, head on over to brilliant.org/vector and get 20% off their annual premium subscription. Now, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit up those comments below and let me know. tvOS, what were you really expecting and what do you still want? Thank you so much for watching and see you next video.